Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Lorena. I do mommy lifestyle and beauty videos. Today is more lifestyle, more personal. This is my husband Tommy. We are doing our, I think, third or fourth annual relationship Q&A. I think it's the third Vlogmas one, but like our fourth relationship Q&A. So I asked you guys to ask me questions, and you guys really came through over on Instagram. I don't think I'm going to be able to answer everything, but there are questions that I do want to touch on. So we are going to get straight into that, but don't forget to subscribe down below, turn on post notifications, give this video a big thumbs up. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and let's get straight into this. Okay, so the first question is, knowing what you do now, what is something you'd tell your younger selves about love? I would tell my younger self that there is no reason to put so much pressure on yourself to stick to a timeline. I had this timeline that I needed to be married by this age, have a baby by this age, put unnecessary stress on our relationship, on myself when my last relationship ended, and I think I would just tell myself that it's okay to let things take the course that it's supposed to take, and also that it's okay to be alone. I wish I knew that in high school.
I think for me it's to realize that you're worth more than you think you are. I feel like in regards to my last relationship, I thought that the bad things that I went through were things that I deserved. It wasn't until after I got out of that relationship that I understood that that wasn't worth it.
Our son woke up. Okay, so the next question is, what do you guys love most about each other? Do you want to answer that first?
Sure. What I love the most about you is how there's no doubt that you're a safe space for me. It could be about anything, really, and I don't have to worry about being judged or you getting mad at me about something. I can just know, obviously it depends on what it is, but I just know that if I needed you to be there and not have to worry about you thinking that what I'm saying is dumb, that you are that.
That's literally what I was gonna say about you, that I love that from the literal beginning of our relationship, I could talk to you about anything. Like when I met you, I was going through a really hard time, and I opened up to you about it from the beginning because I didn't want to be in a relationship or even try to be in a relationship with someone who couldn't understand or respect that.
Yeah.
So I opened up to you, and we ended up talking for like 12 hours straight, literally.
Yeah. Honestly, what we talked about was literally like the third date, I guess you could say, that we went on. Mm-hmm. But what we talked about that night, when you told me what you told me, but then I found out that you not told anybody else, really, it was very surprising. So I feel like I'm glad that I could create that space for you from that early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like not like an instant thing, but I mean, on our first date, we literally we're at the zoo, like we casually talked about like our opinions on like gun laws, right, and abortions, or like women's rights and stuff like that. And it's like, who the F brings that kind of stuff up on a first date? But yeah, it somehow came up naturally. It did. However that happens. And yeah, we from the get-go could talk about anything, and we still can. How do you guys deal with family that might have different values or political views? I think I'm gonna take this one because your family pretty much has all the same political views, and I love that. But I guess for me, as strongly as I have been speaking on Instagram about, political views, political things, cutting off toxic people, there are some relationships that you have to weigh, the benefit and the I don't know, you know, the pros and cons basically. And there are some relationships that I have that it's not worth me cutting these people out. So I think over the years we've kind of learned to just not really talk about things. If we do bring things up and we talk about political things, or sometimes it's just human rights stuff, we know kind of when to cut the conversation, because it's like, okay, it's getting a little heated, no one's changing their minds, so we need to cut the conversation. So I think the biggest thing is knowing if this person or these people are worth keeping in your life. And if they are, then you have to, not that you're agreeing to disagree, you're kind of just agreeing to not talk about it. And I know that that doesn't sound fabulous, because it's not, but I think in certain relationships that you kind of can't really lose these people, you have to do that. And in my situation, these people are not people who, even if we don't talk about it, they're racist, they're sexist, they're homophobic. Like, it's not like we don't talk about it but they still make comments that are very problematic. It's not that. It's when we don't talk about it, we have a beautiful, perfect, not perfect, but you know what I mean, a beautiful, amazing, healthy relationship, and we just don't bring up the other stuff. And some people can do that and some people maybe not, but that's what I have learned that I have to do to keep certain people in my life, and that's what I will continue to do, and try to educate in a very kind and loving way in, you know, in moments that I'm able to do that. Ooh, this is a good one, because I don't know that we've explicitly talked about this, like in this way of like wording it. Is there anything you guys have disagreed on in terms of raising Noah?
Not really.
I don't think so either. I feel like I would have to ask you that, because I'm the one who kind of like does a lot of the research and is like, hey, I want to do this. Or in the beginning it was like, oh yeah, like are you open to like spanking, because I am. And then like as Noah got older, I had to sit down with my husband again and be like, okay, so I changed my mind on that, and these are the reasons, and this is like the research behind it. Are you down to like be on board with that? And he was. You were, you know, I feel like it would be kind of problematic if you were like, no, we're hitting him.
I mean, at the same time, because you do the research and all that stuff, you're more educated on things than I am, and I feel like if there is something worth talking about, that's what we do. We talk about it, and then usually at the end of the conversation, we'll come to an agreement as to which direction we're gonna go. So
I feel like we can talk through a lot of things, and we can see different sides and come to a conclusion. Is marriage the same or different than you expected? I think it's different than I expected, in the sense where it's like, and I know we're only like 11 months into marriage, but I think it's easier. I don't know why I thought like it was gonna be this like miserable thing. No, I didn't think it was gonna be this miserable thing. I thought like the first year was gonna be this really difficult thing, and I know everyone's gonna have their own opinions on it, like we'll just wait to year 3 or whatever.
How come we thought it was gonna be difficult?
Because that's what people say, like, well, the first year of marriage is like the hardest thing ever.
I guess I just don't know what changes other than like,
I mean, because we were living together and we already had a baby before we were married, so it's like I don't know what the only thing that has changed is that we moved out, but that doesn't have to do with the marriage. It has to do with like having our own space and having new or greater responsibilities. Do you have any goals you want to accomplish as a couple? And for me, I mean, this is a couple, but also I would have this goal if I was like single as well, but I want to buy a house, you know, sooner than later, but no like pressure on it either. Like, we don't want to make irresponsible decisions. So I think a goal for us is to own a house. And like a goal for us, in my mind as well, is to have another baby. And like raise really kind, self-aware, anti-racist children. If any, how did you deal with opinions about living together and baby before marriage?
Opinions from other people?
I mean, for me, I'm the more vocal one in this relationship. But I just shut it down. Comments about, oh, so when are you guys getting married? Oh, when we decide we're gonna get married. oh, like now you guys have to get married. No, we don't. Like, I would just honestly casually I think I was just like sick of it at that point. I was just like, okay, just because you have a baby doesn't mean you have to get married. Just because you get married because you have a baby doesn't mean your marriage is gonna last or you're gonna be in a happy marriage.
Right.
So that was never my style, to be like, oh shoot, if I got pregnant before I got married, I'd have to get married, or, you know, anything like that. And then the living together part, I don't think anyone made a comment about that. I feel like the reason there was no like explicit comments about us living together before we got married was because it was kind of like a slow transition. It wasn't like, oh hey, we've been dating for a year, we're moving out to our own place together. Then maybe people would have made comments, you know? But it was kind of like oh, you stay over one night, and then it turned into like 5 nights, and it turned into most nights, you know? And it was like, he wasn't living there, but he was sleeping over all the time.
Yeah.
And after Noah, or after I got pregnant, that's when it kind of became like official that you like moved in, kind of. And we were literally like, my mom was like making space for you, your clothes and stuff. So advice on signs you know your significant other is the one for you. Like
you're in the day-to-day routines and all that stuff, you can't imagine somebody else taking the place of that person.
Like, you wouldn't want someone else to be doing all those, like, being in my position, like you couldn't see your life like that.
Like, no, I couldn't see somebody else being you, nor do I want that. So
I think a big thing, in my opinion, is being able to communicate with them. Like, if obviously the things we're saying are not the only things you need, obviously it should be a well-rounded relationship, you know, but a huge thing in my opinion is like, you can have the physical chemistry, you can have fun together and go out and party, you can have all that, you can have all the fun stuff, but I think what's so important is that at the end of the day, you need to be able to communicate with your partner about the good things and the bad things, right? It's obviously easy to talk about the good stuff of your day and everything, but I think you need to be able to be with someone who you can say, hey, I kind of have an issue with this, like, can we discuss it? I don't think you should ever be in a relationship with someone, or even a friendship, where you can't talk through issues, right? Because what's the point? You're gonna have issues with someone and then you can't talk about it? Nothing's gonna get fixed? So I think that's like a huge thing. This one might be hard for us to answer. Advice for people trying to date but low-key hate the dating app scene. So twofold. That makes it hard for us. We have not dated in 5.5 years, almost 6 years. And when we were dating, at least for a little bit, we were on dating apps. So I don't even know, like,
I feel like, I don't know, I'm a person who, I would rather use a dating app. I know that it's like hard and it's a lot of misses, more misses than hits, but it's just, it sounds bad, but it's just so much easier to just not ever talk to somebody again if it's over an app.
Yeah, it's true, I guess.
I mean, I feel like
you don't have to waste as much of your time.
Yeah, like you don't have to go get ready to go somewhere and meet this person just to find out that you never want to see them again. You could just...
Have you experienced that?
No.
Oh, okay.
You could just, you know, figure that out from your couch at home and just, I don't know, go back to sleep or something. What?
That's true. Sounds very lazy, but
it does.
Efficient, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if there's someone worth like getting ready for, then you would go do that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think it's hard during like Corona season. So I am so sorry that we do not have a lot of good advice. I would say you gotta keep your eyes peeled at school, at work.
Yeah. You gotta make sure that you see them with the mask off too.
Oh my God, yes. Distance. Yeah, that's hard. People have masks on.
Yep.
If they're wearing a gaiter, don't fucking date them.
If they're not wearing a mask, don't date them.
Don't date them. Yeah. You have to be very, especially in this day and age, you can just like come in with like strong questions. Oh my God, so what are you waving you can just be like, oh my gosh, like the first round of vaccines came out, like isn't that so exciting? And if they say no, then don't date them either. I'm not joking also. Yeah, anyways, I'm sorry, we don't have that great of advice for you.
I just say don't sleep on dating apps, but I know it could take forever.
Tell the camera, what's your name?
Noah Wenzel.
Noah Wenzel. How do you say Matthew?
Matthew.
How do you say Halia? Noah Matthew Halia Wenzel.
Noah Wenzel.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
Uncle
Uncle
Wenzel.
Uncle Wenzel, you have two. Was there a specific moment when you knew that you wanted to marry each other? I mean, I feel like if I had to choose a moment, it would honestly be what we were talking about earlier, about that like third date.
Whoa.
You know? And I mean, obviously, or I mean, not obviously, some people do that, but I wouldn't have actually done it and gotten married like Uncle Wenzel on that day or that weekend or the next month. But that's when I knew that this was serious and this was someone that I could really consider seeing in my future, you know? I actually was looking through my notes, my notes app, and it was when we were first dating, but I went on a cruise, so I couldn't talk to you for 10 days. And I was like writing stuff, and I said something like, I see my future in your eyes, or something like that. It was crazy. So the last question we're gonna answer is a little bit more parenting related, and it's how do you teach your child values like respect, patience, and to share? I think for all of them, it's you lead by example. You can't teach your child to respect other people and then you be disrespectful to your child or to others. And then for the sharing thing, I kind of went over that in one of my previous videos, that we don't force him to share from the get-go. Like if he's playing with something and some other kid wants to play with it, I don't say, okay, no, it's time to share. Let so-and-so use that toy or play with that toy. Because my child's using it. He's not done with it. And once he's done with it, then he can give someone else an opportunity, but he doesn't have to immediately share right away, because that's teaching your child that, okay, just because someone else wants it, I need to now give something up. And then it teaches the other child that you're entitled to someone else's stuff just because you want it in that current moment. So that's my thing on sharing, but I think everything else is you model it, right? So we basically lead by example, and when we do things or when we are respectful, I kind of always just spell everything out. Like for example, when we're tickling him and he says more, so we'll tickle him, but once he says stop, we say, okay, I hear you say stop, I'm gonna respect your wishes, I'm gonna respect your body. So even though he may not exactly understand it, we're kind of saying everything out loud, that we respect you. Thank you for respecting mommy's space. Thank you for sharing when he is ready, you know, to share. But yeah, I think it's basically just leading by example. Puzzle, yeah. So that is gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you have any other questions. We usually do this once a year, but if you guys have more questions, we can definitely do another one. But don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications. Give this video a big thumbs up. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Love you. Bye.